What could be said about Parfums de Marly's Harriet? It's one of the house's more popular fragrances, but how does it compare to other popular tobacco and vanilla scents? Come back and we'll discuss. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video, Smell Good with Jenna. I'm, of course, Jenna. Thank you so much for stopping by. You know what you got to do. Like, comment, follow, and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So, here's a fun fact. Parfums de Marly's Harriet is actually the second fragrance from the house that I fell in love with. The first one being Leighton. I didn't fall in love with Leighton for myself, but as a gift, I was looking for a niche fragrance, a step up above designer, and that's what I fell in love with, and I thought that would be the perfect gift. But when I smelled Harriet, I was like, you know what, this is really good. And I'm like, this is me being still new in my fragrance journey. I've always been into fragrances even when I was younger, but I always had designer and like celebrity type of fragrances, never niche. So I didn't realize that the lines were blurred when it comes to who can rock what. I didn't know there was unisex scents. I thought, like how there's colognes. I always thought there was just colognes, perfumes, what we've been accustomed to growing up or in general, right? So I didn't realize the lines were blurred. I'm like, damn, this is so good that I would rock this, but can I rock it? Would it smell too masculine on me? But I couldn't get the cinnamon, the tobacco, the vanilla. I couldn't get it out of my mind, and I kept testing the strip. But it was out of sight, out of mind. I knew what I was there for, and I left it alone. Fast forward a couple of years ago to 2024, my taste has drastically changed. You look at my collection, I have a lot of masculine leaning scents, and I also have very unisex and very feminine. It's just all over the place when the type of things that I like. This past winter, I've worn a lot of spicy, smoky, vanillas, just you name it. So, as I've mentioned in numerous videos, I cannot stand samples because they just sit there. And if I like it, if I wind up smelling it and like it, I'm just gonna wanna buy a big bottle. And that was the case with Harriet. I actually had 2 samples. So I was just laying around, I'm like, you know what, let me spin the block, as the kids say. And that feeling that was evoked a couple of years ago, it was still there. And I'm like, do I wanna get this right now? If you saw how much I spent on fragrances, body oils, and body creams, you'd be like, girl, you did a lot last year. But as always, I'm weak when it comes to fragrances, and I really, really I'm gonna pull the trigger. So my trusty site of Fragrance Nevea had a tester for $133, $134. I'm like, I don't need a new packaging and the whole nine. I can go with the tester. So I wound up going with the tester, a 2.5 ounce. I have a lot of fragrances, don't need a 4.2. And this was absolutely perfect to add to my collection. You see the bottle, it's the standard Parfums de Marly bottle, sleek, like gunmetal almost. It's just gorgeous packaging per usual. So we added her or him to my collection. So with the notes, you have in the top cinnamon, pepper. In the middle, you have tobacco leaf, incense, osmanthus, and in the base, you have vanilla pods, musk, woody accord, and patchouli. Who would have thought this was the fragrance that would introduce me to cinnamon goodness? But this is the fragrance that I didn't realize that did introduce me to it. But when you get in the top, you get that sweet spiciness of cinnamon. I don't get too much pepper, but the spices of cinnamon you get. I know there isn't a cherry accord or note rather, or apple, but there's a cherry or some type of fruit vibe that you get with the cinnamon that blends well together. And then when it dries down, you get the smokiness of tobacco and incense, and it's not too smoky on me, which I love. And then of course, when it dries down, that vanilla has me hooked. And this is just a beautiful fragrance. As I mentioned in the beginning, I knew I was in there for a specific fragrance, but I came out with this on my mind, and it always was just lingering throughout the years, this fragrance. And then as I started to get more versed into fragrances, I realized not only obviously you can wear whatever, but I saw on Parfums de Marly's website that this is actually considered a unisex fragrance. So It's not, I can see why I was like so gravitated to it, because this is just, a guy and woman could wear this as always, and it's just a beautiful fragrance. I think this is a fragrance that a man can wear on a date night. I find this cozy. I find that if a woman wants a little bit more complexity, she can throw on this. It's a beautiful fragrance to wear during the cooler nights, and just, again, the cinnamon, the tobacco, and the vanilla just blends extremely well, and there's a reason why this is a popular fragrance from the house. It's that damn good. So as I was doing my research and preparing this review, I noticed a lot of people talked about the longevity with Harriet, and to be honest with you, I don't have an issue with it. I know a lot of people who are talking about the reformulation, and I'm not sure when this was formulated, like if this was formulated or not. I'm not sure if this is one of the newer batches or whatnot, because again, this is a tester, but I had no problem with the longevity of this. This lasted a really long time, and I know specifically, I had went to a concert, me and one of my best friends, we went to, for those of you who remember the group Day 26 from Making the Band, I wore this along with Tom Ford's Noir Extreme, and I'll mention that in a second, in my layering combo. That lasted all day, and it was so much going on that day. I was overwhelmed. I remember that was the day I caught the flu. It was a lot. But so I didn't get the chance to re-up and retouch any of my fragrances. That lasted all day. I just smelled that the spicy and the contrast of the spicy sweetness of the layering combo lasted all day. So I had no problems with projection and longevity. So take it with a grain of salt, but this, for me, I find lasts a very long time, and it performs extremely well. So with that said, with the layering combo, I mentioned I wore this with Tom Ford's Noir Extreme. I just wanted to give a little sweetness to this. So as always, I always start off with a unscented soap, and then after that, with my more masculine leaning fragrances I mentioned in other videos, I always like to pair it with Tom Ford Bath & Body Works Vanilla Noir, and I went with the soap, and then we used the body cream. So that's a little bit on the mass leaning side when it comes to the layering combo. I also paired this with Initio Side Effect. The tobacco, the cinnamon go hand in hand. You have the liquor notes in here. Perfect. I started off with Tree Hut's Cinnamon Dolce, and then after that we used Fenty Skin's Warm Shimmery Cinnamon Body Drop. I believe it's a long name. Yeah, Butter Drop rather. Continue that cinnamon base. And then I used from Brown Sugar Babe Blonde Ambition, inspired by Clive Christian's Blonde Amber. Then the final touches were Side Effect and then Harriet. So beautiful pairing. So do I recommend this fragrance? Yes, this is popular for a reason. It's a perfectly unisex fragrance. You can get it for really cheap at a discounter site. I love this. I'm glad I added this to my collection. It's something you need if you're a fragrance collector. So with that said, thank you so much for watching my video. Like, comment, follow, subscribe. Let me know if you have Harriet and if you plan on picking it up. And always remember, the best compliment one can get is that you smell so good.